Hey everybody, Brian Good here. Welcome to the earliest alert. Don't have a whole lot of time today, so I'm going to go fairly fast here, which I'm sure a lot of you will love that. Still dealing with Maria, just a quick update on that. Pretty much lashing the Outer Banks here with near tropical storm force winds, a lot of beach erosion, surf issues, coastal flooding, that kind of thing. But she's going to head out, it's going to head out to sea. Clear skies for us, hazy this morning, and then here's our front, which is getting really stretched out. I was talking about the clouds being pulled in like a piece of cotton candy or cotton, and you pull it out, the cloud cover for Maria. The front's doing the same thing to our west. The low itself is over Minnesota. It's heading into Canada, and it's stretching the front out, and the front's kind of just washing out. The ridge of high pressure is pretty much going to win out on this and dry this thing up. So not too impressed with rainfall as we head into tomorrow, but there is a chance. All right, so mainly clear right now. We're going to have a lot of heating today. The record high is 93. It is going to be a close call. Here is our short range models. They bring it temperature-wise in at about 89 to 90, and that's where we're going. We're going to keep it at about 90, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a slight bit of overachieving that could take place. Cloud cover, I think, will be key on that, as well as the dew point for the afternoon. But overall, any rain chance is still very small and limited to right there, far edges, western edges of wave country. Most of it probably outside of our area. That'll fade away. We'll see increasing clouds around sunrise tomorrow as the front approaches. Now, as the front moves in, notice it's showing no rain, in fact, to start things off. Then as the front, we warm up, even though we got a mainly cloudy sky, we're going to warm up nicely, well into the 80s. And then as the front moves in around 2, 3 o'clock, then suddenly we get a reaction to that and we get a few showers to pop. Not everybody's going to get these showers. Most of you, in fact, will get missed. But the wind will ramp up. We haven't had wind in a while. It's been so stagnant. That's why that poor air quality issue has been going on. But we're going to get some wind, and that cool breeze is going to knock these numbers down through the evening. And here we go, down into the 50s as we wake up on Thursday morning, and then lots of sunshine as we head into Thursday itself. So that's how the setup is the next 24 hours. The front's finally going to move in, thank goodness. We may see another front. I think that we will, in fact. Friday, they'll knock us down a bit. But overall, I think we're looking at 70s across the board, 50s at night, and there could be some 40s in outlying areas. That's overall theme through the weekend. Now, as we head into next week, here's when problems develop. Yellows here is the high pressure. Think of this as dry weather, and the greens are more of the lower pressures. The more you get into these squiggly lines, the deeper the pressure is, and think of that as unsettled weather with clouds and rain potential. So as we begin the weekend, we're still being protected by the high, but we're on the western flank of it, so we're going to get more of a south flow, so we're going to warm up pretty fast here on Sunday. Then, this is the GFS model, by the way. Then as we get into next week, the flow is still to go over the Rockies and then take these low pressures with these fronts kind of dragging in, and they smash. They kind of squeeze down, or they're trying to smash down that high. That high is pretty strong. Question is, can the front get through it? And GFS has been wavering a bit. Now, while that's happening, we're opening up the floodgates here for the tropics to pick up. And as we head into about the 6th of the month, we still have a hint of high pressure over us, but notice it's not as strong as it was. And tropical systems, when they develop, of course, they love to find gaps to fit into. So we'll see how this plays out, but there will be a potential gap for something tropical to work its way into the United States. The question is, will there still be a front or a high in the area that would then smash it and force it sharply to the right? Still some question marks. I think we're going to warm up pretty good early next week. It looks dry, but then the end of the week is where we get questionable on this. How strong will this high be? Will any fronts be able to smash all the way through it? And then we got to watch the tropics. Those are the three main issues we're going to deal with. Here's the Euro. It's got the high over us as we head into next week. You can see how it also gets smashed down. It's showing the front even moving in. There's the low, main energies way into our north. But notice the lower pressures developing here in the Caribbean. Then as we head toward the end of the week, it's same story really. I mean, when you look at the features, it's about the same idea here. We got high pressure to our east. That means we've opened the floodgates now for anything tropical to move north, and their low pressures here in the Gulf and the Caribbean will be concerning at that time. In fact, the ocean water in this area in the Caribbean is running way above normal right now, so this is a prime breeding ground for development. Instead of coming off of Africa and tracking a wave like Irma was, we could have rapid development that take place in the Caribbean, and that's something that no one wants to hear, but that possibility is real. So we need to monitor that because it certainly could influence our weather down the road here. And the indices, when you look at them, the PNAs, the Euro PNA, when it goes positive, we get cooler. When it goes negative, below the black line, we get warmer. Here's our warm spell. Here comes our cool spell we're going to enjoy in the coming days. And then there it goes negative again for next week where we warm back up. This back and forth is showing up on the P&A on both models. And I think we're going to keep seeing that all the way through Halloween. So here's how we'll trend it for now. We'll warm things up next week. Some of the models indicate 90s. We won't go there yet, but the dry ground concerns me that that is possible. So don't be surprised if we have to add a 90 back in the forecast in October here. Right now we'll go with 80s, and then we'll see how unsettled we get for the end of the week as we get closer in time. All right, that's it for today. We'll see how it looks tomorrow.